morning. Good morning.
When you get any medium or large drink from Taco Bell, you may find...
Hey, good morning, Joseph. What's up, Frank? What's going on? Dolores De La Sara, good morning. I want to see if I can share a little bit here. I guess I should have did that earlier. Good morning, everybody. It's a little early for Saturday. I know some of y'all are still out there in La La Land sleeping. So, good thing you can catch this later. What's up, Brother Thomas? Aldrich, how you feeling, man? It's funny that I'm seeing you on this live this morning because you have encouraged me to actually do this live, whether you know it or not. Because, and let me just begin with Brother Thomas. Thomas is a brother out of Mother Claire Hale Depot, and he's very involved and he asks a lot of questions. And what he does is he try to encourage the membership to ask the questions that you're talking about amongst each other, and very often, it doesn't translate into asking questions to the union rep. And I applaud you, Brother Aldrich, because I know what you're trying to do. And it's tough. You know, you can't make people speak, but we try. You know, we try to we try to answer all the questions. So Aldrich ends up being a person who will ask 30 questions at maybe a shop gate, and in this case, it's a question and answering session that we've been doing. And he asks these questions because they're questions that members talk about amongst each other. So I applaud you. Keep up that good work, brother, because we need engagement. It's very important that we have the conversation of engagement. For whatever reason, and it's not. I believe it's society and in general. They got us looking at each other at times suspiciously, and you could just see what's going on with these elections. That's going on with Biden and Trump, and it is nothing that I can denote as uniting the country, and that's a problem. And my job in the union is essentially to try to organize and unite us as one unit. It's tough. A lot of times that's tough because we're broken down in so many divisions. Good morning, Paula. We're broken down to so many divisions, and each division has a different want, has a different need. And sometimes needs aren't met in certain divisions, and then people get upset. And I don't blame anybody for feeling how they feel. But at least let me offer you the truth as I know it, when it comes down to speaking on things such as, the questions as of the layoffs that came up. And, they're talking about laying off 10% of the workforce. And it's the way I see it, and I'm giving an opinion here. My opinion is that they are holding us hostage. But in this case, they're holding the whole workforce hostage of the MTA. including some managers, because they can't get away from protecting some of these managers, but they will protect the managers before they protect let's say, the people who are unrepresented. Now, be proud that you're all part of a union because you're represented. And because you're represented, they have to deal with things such as layoffs in a certain manner, right? They just can't say, "Oh, you can't pick and choose who's gone." They just gotta follow a reverse seniority trend. And if you're civil service, they gotta follow a trend on when you was hired into civil service. And it doesn't necessarily mean that transit civil service, because you could have worked civil service somewhere else, and they have to follow that seniority based on that. And in the MAPSTOA side of things, where MAPSTOA is non-civil service, is contractually mirrored to civil service, but when it comes to layoffs and redeployments, then they have to follow the seniority outlined in the contract and the job counts. So the union does pay attention to those things. And my opinion, as far as the federal government is concerned, they are using every transportation agency in the United States and holding them hostage on not giving things that is needed right now, simply because they want to win an election, and the person who wins the election will come through supposedly at the end. And this is my belief. This is what I see, and I could be wrong. Please don't take what my word is the gospel, because I could be wrong. But this is what I see. This is what I'm noticing that's going on. And it's ugly right now. It is really ugly out here, as we all know, with this pandemic. It gets better in one way, and then here we go again. It gets bad again. So we have to be mindful that we have to take care of each other, and I want to focus on that, because I'm not on the road. I don't drive the bus. Not anymore. I haven't drove the bus. So, but I do go out there, but I still don't have the knowledge and the reasoning and the feeling behind what the bus operator actually feels out there. So what I will say, as far as the pandemic is concerned, right? I mean, people are concerned because we're going into getting out there with the public, and you have concerns about getting COVID-19, right? And I get it, and we all are on edge here, because if one of you guys get COVID-19 for whatever reason, I mean, you're coming back and forth to the depot, right? The union reps are around the depot. Everybody is exposed, whether they're on the bus or they're not on the bus. They're exposed because there's a potential of getting infected, just because it's just out there, and it's not isolated just to one area. And those are true facts right there. And the only thing that I will continue to say is to make sure that you guys cover up out there. All right, cover up. There is a filtration system that they're trying to put into the buses called the MERV 10. It's supposed to be able to take on these microbes that get on the bus. And this is something that the union has pushed for. I spoke about it in another live. I don't know. Sometimes, and by the way, I keep the lives fairly short. I have a lot of stuff to talk about, but the reason why that I keep the live short, because I want to keep you at least listening. I believe that people could listen for 20 minutes or so and get some very good information. and at least get where my thought process is going, and get some facts of certain things. Now, as of recently, last week we did a class in Mother Clara Health Depot, and we came up with something that we put into the depots in Manhattan and the Bronx. And the Manhattan and Bronx depots, we put out some flyers about, not a flyer, but it was a survey. It's called the disinfectant survey. Well, it wasn't. It actually was worded wrong. It was supposed to be a disinfectant survey, and it ended up being a cleaning survey. So it may have scared a few people, and I want to clarify that survey real quick for you guys. They put rules up early on that, and this came out the governor's mouth, that equipment and property had to be disinfected every 24 hours, right? So, as usual, everybody does the right thing in the beginning. But then the transit authority thinks about their budget and inflating the budget, right? So then if the union, or if the union's not watching, or if there's not someone specific to watching, then what happens is the transit will operate and think about their saving on their budget. That's just what it is. I've seen it time and time again. So we did a little, we took a little action, and I want to say it wasn't action. It was just putting the management on notice. And this was in Michael J. Quill. I spoke about this already, where we was doing not a survey. We was doing an audit, and we was checking to see which buses were being disinfected and when, as they were pulling out the depot. And then we found at least 17 buses, which to me was 17 buses too many. 17 buses that weren't disinfected. And at that particular moment, the union didn't have no way of checking or having balance to, we didn't have like a checks and balance system going to see if things were actually done. Now, a lot of the membership, especially the ones that do COVID cleaning on the routes, they took that the wrong way. They took that as if maybe they weren't doing their job. And that wasn't the case. And when we put a survey out there, that's exactly what was put out there, the narrative. And that's a funny thing about narratives. When you put a narrative out there, people, start a rumor, and then next thing you know, it's the gospel, and that's not the case. What we were doing with the disinfectant survey, and it's worded wrong. It says cleaning survey, but it should say disinfectant survey. We will be changing that. But we want to make sure that the buses were disinfected, right? Every 24 hours. Now, at certain times you may have a bus that you see that's a sticker that hasn't been disinfected within the 24 hours. So what we established is we're having a rotation sheet that management provides us that's in their system, so we actually know the work that the operators, or specifically the operators that we're looking at, who disinfected the buses. So if you disinfected the bus, let's say today, right, which is the 24th, and then Monday it hasn't been disinfected again, we can see why it hasn't been disinfected. That bus might not have went out the whole weekend. That bus might have had some mechanical work done on it and just stayed in the house all weekend. Whatever the case may be. So we need to see that. So in order for us to know, we want our operators to fill out the survey, and then we can go look at the survey and make a comparison to the rotation sheet. All right. And that's basically all it is. We're not checking on our workers. We're not doing none of that. We know, there's an expectation that if you're working the COVID cleaning, you're gonna do this as if this was your own thing here, because we know how serious this COVID-19 is, so we expecting you to do your job. So when there's no check on you. It's a matter of making sure management keeps the budget going, right? Straight up. As I spoke of earlier, we do a Q&A that's led by our Vice President, Richard Davis, and we do it in every single depot. There's a requirement for us to go to every depot, even though I'm the division chairman in Manhattan, I do have to attend the question and answer sessions in the Bronx. All right, so so this way the information is consistent and everybody has the information, and it's very important. Open enrollment. You guys are probably starting to receive this in the mail, but open enrollment is started October 15th, and it will be until, I'm understanding, the end of November, but the flyer that you're getting will say November 15th. As a matter of fact, I got it right here. This is what we received in the mail. I put it sideways and then front ways, and then you have the back. There's the back right here. I don't want y'all. Anyway, so the back, you can call. You have dental information, Healthplex, vision information, and if you need to get the information, you go to www.mymta.info/open enrollment, and you can get a summary of your health benefits. There's online options for benefit changes. There's virtual information sessions if you need virtual information. And there's opt-out program brochures. All right? So take advantage of that. Don't wait too long. You can do this stuff online. There was a question given to me by one of the retirees. And let me get into that real quick. But the retirees open enrollment will be in November after the open enrollment is finished with the active employees. The retirees will have an open enrollment. And just so you know, the benefits that the retirees do have, I mean, when you retire, you lose your vision plan and you lose your dental, right? So you can pick up dental through the Retirees Association, and that's through Cigna. That plan is through Cigna, and the eyeglass program that you could pick up through the Retirees Association is VSP. It's for VSP. Now, my understanding of the plan, it is not really that good, but it's something. And what I will suggest, and I spoke to the Retirees Association, I spoke to the Retirees Association chair this morning, and I asked them what could I do to help the retirees out, because I got a lot of retirees on this page as well. And so I'm gonna meet with the retirees chair. His name is Mike Chutrone. He's a former division chairman of MAPSTOA Division 1, and very knowledgeable dude. And he wanted. I agreed to come on down there and get some information, so that the people who are on here that are retirees can get some information. One of the things that he did want me to express, and I guess I'm gonna have to really sit down with him, is he was talking about Medicare Part B. All right, when you choose the Medicare Part B, you pay $144.60, which comes out of your Social Security check, right? So he was letting me know that there's an option, and it's called Aetna Advantage Option 2. Option 2. It's 100% reimbursement. If you're married, it's 100% reimbursement for you and your spouse. and it's up to $3,500 in reimbursement. So that's something for the retirees. And by the way, speaking on retirees, we are all a retiree in training, which means that we should be involved in getting things better for the retirees association. We should try to enroll people, volunteer, maybe volunteer a couple dollars here and there to help that out, so they can, because everything runs on money, as you guys are well aware of. Everything runs on money. But yeah. So let's I'm gonna say this more than once. We have to keep the Retirees Association going, because we all plan on retiring or hope to retire at some point. So let's go. Let's keep that going. I want to talk about an issue that's going on right now, and I'm going to be restraintful on this issue. It's management and Michael J. Quill, and there's assistant general superintendent that is really doing a lot of things that's I think is gonna get him in trouble. And when you're dealing with management, right? It's not that you gotta bust management's ass all the time. Sometimes you gotta work with management, right? But that's on the same platform. Management gotta work with the union, and if that's not happening, then you have no choice but to do what you need to do to bust management's ass. And there's a situation that's very much brewing over at Michael J. Quill right now. And again, I'm being restraintful because there is some action that's going to be taken, and people might have to feel this. So I just want my brothers and sisters over to Michael J. Quill to be very mindful on how you report to the crew, pulling out on time, and everything that you're supposed to do that's by the rules and by the policy, because I'm telling you, something's going to happen over there. All right? Also, moving on. I want you all to think about another perspective. All right? And what I'm talking about, as an elected union rep, there are many items. There are many items on the contract that we have to know and defend at all costs. There's a lot of politics. When we speak of politics, we speak specifically of the Monday morning quarterbacks who tell you what you should and what you shouldn't do. However, they never held an elected seat. All right? And they also don't come to union meetings. And they shoot from the hip on society's ill wills. So another perspective that I propose to you is the truth. All right? Because I believe the truth is the only thing that could set you free, no matter how you try to spin that truth. No matter how you try to spin it. It's very important for the member to really understand. You know, I, for one, believe that the truth is very important. But I also understand, and I'm just being honest here, I also understand being in the shoes of many that want to run for union office, and you have to go out there and point out the bad of the administration. But I also understand that you won't point out the good of the administration. I mean, how would that look if you pointed out the good of the administration? You pointed that out, then people would say, well, why would I vote for you if they're doing a good job? So, of course, people are not going to point that out. I understand that wholeheartedly because I was once against an administration. All right? And I followed a narrative, not of my own. I followed a truth that basically may have not been all that true. And this truth that I'm telling you made me understand about other people's agenda. Based on many things, but one thing is based on information that was fed to me at the time, and moving, and then during time, me getting experience and me understanding and reading and seeing things, and just my experience, I see, wow, that person really moved me, and maybe I shouldn't have been moved in that direction at that time. So a lot of people don't like to be told the truth, and that's a fact too. People like to be pacified. Oh, this is not, don't worry about this. This is not, you're not going to get fired if you do it. Don't worry. I got you. Don't worry. Well, one thing you don't have to worry. I'm always going to have you. I'm going to fight for you. But you don't have an open letter to do wrong. You don't have an open letter to think everything is going to be okay. You have to do your part. You definitely have to do your part to make it okay. I definitely want to express this to my listeners. There's a lot of information out here that's fed to people to carry a narrative that might not be the truth. Do your own research. Do your own research. And that's what I'm going to close with today, brothers and sisters. Do your own research. Remember, open enrollment. Let's get that done. And remember, you specifically in Michael J. Quill, there's getting ready to be something going on. There's a war brewing over there. So I'm expecting that the brothers and sisters over there make sure that they do the right thing through policy. All right. With that, you guys have a good Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe out here. And shout out for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. That month is coming to a close. And I support that big time. All right. Be safe and be well. And yes, Paula, I will take all questions offline. I'm going to answer any question you have. I just don't want to keep the live going. So I will definitely answer your questions offline. All right. So be safe out here and be well.